Hello friend, this is Swapna and welcome to Learn SAP ABAP. So in this session we are going to see how to create simple WebImpro application. Okay. So what is a WebImpro? So it is a technology to develop a ABAP based ERP application or web application. So before WebImpro, if you want to access SAP transaction from your laptop or your desktop, you have to have the SAP client installed on your system. Okay, or you can say, let's suppose you want to access the application from some other machine which doesn't have SAP installed. Then how to do that? So SAP decided to make their application as a web-based application. Okay, so here we will see how to create a simple WebDimper application. So let's go to the SAP system.
Okay friends, so I am in my SAP. So friends, I'm planning to create a more video on WebDimpro application. Okay, so if you don't want to miss any video, so then please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get notification about my next upcoming videos. Okay, so let's start. So we'll access the transaction called ACAT. Okay, so ACAT is a transaction from where we can create the WebDimpro application. Okay, so now here what you have to select, you have to select WebDimpro. Okay, and here we will give now text first WebDimpro application. Okay, and click on the enter. Once you click on the enter, click on the display, you can find that the application does not exist, so just go ahead and click create. Now here we'll get first demo application, and as you can see here, so window name and the view name is also getting created, right? So we'll give the name as a first window, we'll give main window, sorry, underscore window, and view, so view in the sense, whatever the user can see on the screen is nothing but comes under the view. Okay, that part we can design inside this view. Okay, so give name as a first view. Okay, just click on the okay. So when you created any component in WebDriver, as you can see there are default component controller view windows on an interface. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to just define a context on, that is a node and attributes inside this context. Okay, so just double click on this and just right click on the context, and once, so okay, so we'll tell you what we are going to do is, we are just going to create a two screen. And the first screen we are going to enter the name of the person and even the language of the person. Okay, and we will add one more button in the same first screen. So once the user will click on the submit screen, he can see the user data in another screen. Okay, so that is the two things we are going to develop in this today's session. Okay, so for that, what we need, we just need the two variables, right? Like name and language, right? So just right click on the context and just click on the create, sorry, just first go to the edit mode, right click on context, create, and nodes. As you can see here, node and attributes. Okay, so what does it mean? Like, node is the nothing but the like, wait, give me, I will give the name as a node. So what is a node? Like, node can be a structure or some internal table. Okay, so node can be a structure or an internal table. So in internal table can have the multiple columns. Similar node can have multiple attributes. Okay, so attributes can be a simple web variable. Okay, just keep it in mind. Okay, so I have to, so created can be a structure or internal table. Okay, so table contain a multiple row, internal table contain a multiple column. The same way a node contain a attributes. Okay, in attributes now we have to give the name. Okay, so now here we have to give the type. So for the type, we have a table called user01. Okay, if you see here, we'll give it the name, type this user, and then underscore b name. B name is nothing but this field. Okay, and you'll only click on the okay, click just okay. Okay, so we have added, we want one more parameter. Just again right click on the node, create, and attributes. In the attributes we will give us a language, and again here also we'll use the same type from the user table, user, and you can find language, right? Language, click on ok. Okay, so now we are almost done with our declaration part. Okay, so what are the variable we are going to use for our this program? Save and check. Okay, so now just now we have to design first screen, right? So for that, like, go to the view, and the view you can see the first view we have created at the time of creating this web infra component. Just double click on the first view, and as you can see here the layout, let me activate this thing first so that we can see the. Okay, so now as you can see here, now here we just need the label and text, label and the text grid. Okay, so for the label we can just drag and drop. Okay, but if in case if you can't drag and drop, then you just click on this router and click on insert image, and here as you need to select the as a label. Okay, we'll give as a label 1, the label. Okay, so now as you can see the label I have added here. Just scroll down and just change, give the name as a text for the name. Okay, now as you can see the label for. Okay, just as it is, keep this option as it is blank. Okay, for now. So now again click on right click, insert element. What we need, we just need input field now, right? So yeah, input input field, use an input name. ID is we are giving input name. Okay, okay, so now we have added input field. Okay, so now we have added name and input field on the first view. Okay, so okay, now we will need one more field as a, okay, language, right? So right now if you click on here, and again we'll give the label, label, and language label, giving id as a language label. Okay, so now as you can see it is coming next to this input field, right? But we don't need this thing in the, we just need this name field below this name. Okay, let me show you. Let's language. Okay, so now as you can see, guys, language, if I click on this save, as you can see language next to this input field, right? But we want this thing below this name. So what we can do for this, just double click on this, double click, and you have to change the layout as a row layout. Click on this save. Once you save it, then just click on the label, and you can see here one more column, one more field as a layout data, and you have to select the layout data as a row header. Okay, and just click on save so that you can find this field will come below this name field. Okay, right? So now again just right click and click on insert element, and here also you need as a input field, and here giving the input lang. Okay, id, done. This save, and what you need one button, right? Element, need one button, sub button. Okay, giving id sub button. Okay, now as you can see again the button is coming yes. So again what you have to do is just change the row data as a row data header and save it. Okay, it will come below, and after that just go to this text, click on, give the name as a s- sub submit. Okay, check and just save first. Okay, now we have saved. Now here, now again click on this name label, and as you can see the label for, we have to skip this. Here you have to select label for, this is for name, right? So we will select the label for input name. For this input name, click on the save. Do the same thing for the language also. Here also insert the language, label for input lang, input language will click on the save. Okay, so now as you can see here, if I am trying to activate this thing, you can see the property value of the element input, first input name must be bound. Okay, so as you can see here, input name, as you can see here, property value, we have to just bind this property. Okay, but now as you can't see anything here, so for that what you have to do is just click on this context tab, and inside this context tab you just need to drag this and drop on this context field. Okay, so as you can see the language whatever you have declared inside this component controller, it will come in this for this view also. Okay, so whatever thing you will define in the component controller, it is a globally accessible, so that you can use in the multiple views. Okay, so after that, sorry, go to the input again, layout, and if you click on the value now, so as you can see here, name, right? So we'll give the name, we'll bind the name field to this input field. Click on the save, and we have to do the same thing for this second field also. Okay, just double click on this field, and again inside the bind value, we will bind this language field. Okay, check and activate. Okay, so now click on this submit button. So in the submit button we have to perform some action, right? When your user will click on the submit, it will redirect to the next, right? For that what we have to do is, inside the property you can see the on action, just click on this on action, and here you have to give the name as a submit. As you can see here, outbound plug. So what is the outbound plug? In a simple word, as I can see, you are clicking on the submit button, right? So we are going out from this view, right? In that, for that going out, it will come as a outbound plug. Okay, so, okay, so what we will give, I will give as a outbound, sorry, outbound plug first first view. Okay, outbound plug of first view. Create, yes. Okay, so when you will create the outbound plug, and as you can see here, outbound plug. So as you can see here, outbound plug is created. Okay, okay, so now we have done with our design part of first view. Okay, so now we will create this another second view, in which we are going to display this data whatever we have entered in this screen. Okay, click, I will give as a second view, image second second view. Okay, just say check and activate. Okay, so now as you can see second view here. So now again we need to design this second view. So you can drag and drop from here, otherwise you can just right click on this, and you can use the insert element. So what I am going to use now, again I will use first as a label, and here give as a label label name, right? Okay, label for name, and here we'll give the name as a welcome. Welcome. Okay, text as a give as a welcome, and just click on the save. And now I need text view. Okay, now we are going to display the data whatever inside in the first screen in the second screen. For that reason we will use text view, and the id you can use text view name. Okay, done. Nothing. And again we need one more label for the language, and here will use the label. Here also will give the label language. Click on ok. Okay, now again you can see we are getting this here, right? But we need this below this welcome. Okay, so what you have to do, just double click on this root element container and change layout to the row layout. Click on save in order to reflect the changes, and then just select this and row data as a header and click on save. Okay, that's it. So now in the label what we will give the text, you have selected language. Okay, that's it. Language. Now again we need just need one more text view, so just right click on it, create, give, select the name as the text view, and here we'll give the name as the text view for language. Okay, language. Okay, so now we are almost done. So now again go to the label, and here label we have to select table for text view name, save. And for, and here also you can, here also for the language label for, we have to select the text view language, then check. Okay, so now here again also we just need to map the data whatever we are going to pass from the view 1 to second view. Okay, so for that go to the text, and inside the text again we have to just drag and drop in onto the context. Mm, drag and drop onto context. Okay, then you can see this field is there. Then again go to the layout and select the text view, here text view name, and here as you can see we have a column as a text, right? So just click on this button here, text, and you have to select name. Okay, name, and click on the ok, and do the same thing for the text view language also. Here go to the select, click here text to select language. Okay, so whatever thing we are going to pass from the view 1 it will come inside view 2. Okay, check. And okay, so here we will do one more thing, we will add here also one more button, say back. Okay, so here also we will add one button as a back button. Okay, so now this also we need as a, yeah, the next line. Okay, and we'll give the name for this button. Save the name for this button. As you can see here, we have a column name. Here I will give as a back. Okay, and in the on action event, just click on the on action event. Here we give you as a back, and here as you can see outbound block. So here also we are going to go outside from the second view. Okay, so we will give you outbound second view. Okay, this is the outbound block for the second view. Okay, so we'll tell you the how to navigate between the from outbound block. Okay, so as of now just concentrate on the outbound block, because when we will click on the back, it will go out from the second view and it will come inside the first view. Okay, so we are going out, that is the reason it's come under outbound block. Okay, it's a simple definition to understand. Okay, so now it does not exist. Yes, second view. Okay, so just check. Okay, so now we are almost done with our second page also design also. Okay, so now we'll check the mapping. Okay, but here what we have to do, see, now this is our first view. From first view what we are going to do is, when we will click on the button called finish. Okay, so now we are going to click on the submit. It will call as a outbound, it will call as a outbound block, and when it will navigate to the second view, so it will come from the inbound block. Okay, so that is the reason we have to define inbound block also. So we'll write inbound, say inbound block for the second view. Okay, this is the second view. Just in, okay, inbound block for second view. Okay, as you can see the system will auto created the event handler for the inbound view. Okay, so now we have inbound for the second view also. Okay, so now what is, when we will save, so when we will click on the button, submit button, so it will trigger the outbound plug of the first view. And when it is navigating to the second view, first it will come from the inbound plug. Okay, so so now for the outbound plug, when it will trigger, when we will click on the s- back button, right? So when we will click on the back button, when we are going to click on the back button, it will trigger the outbound plug from the second view. And when it is navigating to the first view, so it will trigger the inbound view plug. Okay, so that is the reason we just need to find inbound plug first. Okay, so system will auto create the event handler for this. Okay, check and activate. Okay, so now if you check in the main window, as you can see here, we have a main window, right? So to navigate with from to and from the first to second, we just need to create a navigation path. Okay, so first of all what we will do, just right click on this main window, and we will right click on the main window, and we will here embedded our second view also. Okay, so now as you can see main window, now view to be embedded, as you can see here the first view is there. So to create the navigation, we should have the second view also. So just select the second view, and the component of it will come automatically. Just click on the OK. Okay, so now as you can see here, inbound outbound plug for the first view, and here inbound outbound plug for the second view. Okay, so now for the outbound, now we have to create the navigation link, right? So for that, like what we will do, just right click on this outbound plug and create navigation, right? Means navigation, and the destination view we have to select at the which view we need. We need a second view, right? Second view. No, from first view we are to trigger second view, so other thing will come by default. Okay, inbound plug for the second view, right? So when you outbound, so it will trigger the inbound view of the second view, right? Click on the OK, and the same thing we have to do for the second view also. Okay, here also we have to just create the navigation link, destination we will select as a first view from second. Okay, inbound view of first view, and click on the destination the first view, and it will trigger the inbound plug of the first view. Click on the okay. So now as you can see, when we as you can see here, the navigation link is created between the outbound plug of the first view with the inbound plug of the second view. Okay, so just check and activate. Okay, so now we are almost done. So now what we will do, we have to just create the application. Just right click on it and create. And as you can see here, WebImpro application, click on it. You have to generate application. So we will give the first WebImpro application. Click on the OK. Okay, now we have created our first application. So as you can see here, the URL is generated automatically, okay, from this system. Okay, you can use the same URL in order to check the output of this application. Okay, so I'm just check and activate. Once you create the application, you can see one more folder with the web application, and here is the name of your Pro application. Okay, just save, check, and okay, so now you can use the link provided from your SAP system. Okay, or you can directly run the application from here. So we'll test our application now. We just click on the text, it will open the same URL as you can see, where you can see in your URL. Okay, so now as you can see here, okay, so now as you can see here, name and language field is there, right? So now we will click on name as our channel call learn SAP ABAP, and we'll put the language as a E. Okay, and once you will click on the submit, it will call the next page called welcome learn SAP ABAP. You have selected language English. Okay, so now when we click on the back button, it will redirect us to the first screen. Okay, so now again submit in the second view, and it will back the first view. Okay, so this is the very simple WebImpro application I have created so far. So I'm planning to create a more videos on the WebImpro. So please subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any video related to WebImpro. Okay,
If you like this video, then press the like button below. If you have any doubt, then write me in the comment section below. If you want to learn more about a app, then visit to my website www.learnsapapp.com. The link is also given in the description. And please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get notification about my next upcoming videos. Okay, so friends, bye, signing out.